I don't want any faxes from you this afternoon saying, only in Los Angeles, Kathleen. All right, you're right. Well, it did have to happen. There is a comedy troupe here in Los Angeles that does all OJ all the time, and Greg Agnew checked it out. Greg?
That's right, Kathleen. They call themselves OJ Law, but there's not an Arnie Becker to be found among them. What they do is they update their material constantly, every day, depending on what goes on in court. And that actually allows them to hold their scripts right up on the stage. So here now, you're going to recognize what they're about to do. Here now is OJ Law. OJ Law, a topical satire with a spin on all the OJ mania.
With bloody gloves and mystery knives.
Boy, they'll lock him up for life.
There is just no way to save OJ. I'm gonna nail his butt and run for mayor of L.A.
I must find a way to save OJ. He's got a pretty smile. There'll be some jurors we can play.
When I took off on the freeway to my mom's house, that's where I was bound. So maybe we decided to take the long way around. For those of you who are not familiar with what we're doing, very briefly, we are staging this as a staged radio play. You'll see the actors holding their scripts. You'll also see them changing costumes, being about the set, and everything like that. The main thing is that we are sort of running the show along with the trial.
And OJ done wrote a book.
While I was gone?
You was gone a whole hour, Barbara Ray. I was beginning to think you was having another affair.
No, those days are gone, baby. Ever since this OJ thing come around, I ain't even looked at another woman. As it is, I barely got time to keep track of all the evidence, defense strategies, DNA, motions, objections, timelines. I'm telling you, it's like...
OJ done brought us closer together.
It's the media event of the century. It's ridiculous. It's amazing, too.
It's kind of an improvisation in as much as there are changes, even though they've got scripts. But to move around, someone said it was like a radio show. Well, the radio shows that I've seen and even been in, you stand at a podium, you read. I mean, that's one thing. They were moving on the stage. I forgot about the script. I forgot that they had scripts.
You hate him for stealing your face, don't you?
Yes, I am. He ruined it. I had everything. I was the news until... Oh, I did it, Your Honor. I did it. It was me all the time.
You can't confess here, young lady.
Why not?
This is not your trial.
But my trial's over.
Hey, look, I'll be glad to punish you, Heidi. All right, order in this court. Come on, Howard, stand held and contest.
People coming to see the play have, for the most part, really enjoyed it. I mean, I felt like we've really entertained people, we've provoked people. The responses I've gotten have been, gosh, you guys are saying everything, and you're saying stuff that I thought that I wouldn't have the nerve to say.
And I was kind of reticent about doing it, too, because, you know, I didn't want to make mockery of what is a very gruesome and serious thing. But I read the script, and the angle that they took was that they were making fun of the media.
This being here, I'm now being asked by Chip Broccoli of Channel 2 about my impressions. I'm doing that. I'm sitting here in front of the court after Chip Broccoli and Biff Dees compared notes on this morning's testimony. Biff! Chip! Many people have said the media is upset not only with this trial, but with its coverage of this trial. What do you think?
OJ Law gets its name from a fictitious TV show in the play.
See, we never did that on L.A. Law.
It's a great way to play off all the institutions that are involved. I mean, this is a satire, so we're not just talking about the trial. We're talking about the trial as it fits into the larger aspects of the culture.
Look, what we want is simple. You must write us into the story more.
I can't do that. Why not? Because you are the real lawyers on the real trial. I'm not writing the real trial. I'm writing a TV version. You know, OJ Law. I don't have any control. Well, who's writing our trial, Wes? Him. Who's writing your trial? It's real. Yeah, but you're the TV writer. We're on TV.
The reason I think that it works as a spoof is only because the media, as well as the defense, as well as the prosecution, have turned it into a circus. They have done that.
I think that the most touching moment in it was when the ghost of Nicole Simpson stood up and said, this is about murder. Because I think that's something that we all tend to forget.
We intend to run the show throughout the duration of the entire trial, or the end of the century, whichever comes first.
Guilty! Innocent! Guilty! Innocent! Guilty!
In the future, I wonder what historians will say about 1995. Now, there are actually two guys who write the show, Gary Gordon, who you saw in the piece, and Ron Birnbach. You don't have to ask them what they do all day long. They watch the live broadcast of the trial, probably on E!
TR. OJ Play. Okay, so you haven't had your fill of OJ? Then get ready for OJ Law.
Do you know the way to say okay?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
OJ Law runs weekends at a small Hollywood theater where the star of the show is actor Greg Eagles.
I play OJ. I play Johnny Cochran, who's my favorite, by the way. I'm the ethnic utility man of the group.
When it comes to OJ, we always give you the extra story.
If you'd like to see the O.J. Simpson trial with a different spin, a Hollywood theater company is offering a satirical version of the case. And as Eyewitness News reporter Gary Gabriel tells us tonight, O.J. Law could be with us for the long run.
A satire of the O.J. Simpson murder trial called O.J. Law has been running at the Complex Theater in Hollywood since January.
Do you know the way to save O.J.?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Producer Gary Gordon says the play is meant to illuminate and is not in poor taste.
We deal with issues of family values, using the cleavers from Leave It to Beaver, and issues of race, issues of the police, issues of the judicial system.
I can't get enough of it because I'm going to keep coming to see it every week. It changes every week along with the trial. This is going to go on for maybe, 2, 3, 4 years. We don't know.
O.J. Law is updated with new material each week. This week's show includes satirized testimony from Rosa Lopez.
I don't remember.
What do you remember?
I don't remember.
With so much new and bizarre material coming from the real Simpson trial each week, producers of the show say it's been difficult for them to keep it to less than 80 minutes long. They plan to continue running O.J. Law here at the Complex Theater, as Gary Gordon puts it, until the trial ends or the year 2000, whichever comes first. In Hollywood, Gary Gabriel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
The O.J. Simpson murder trial has spawned books, made-for-TV movies, and even an audio tape from the defendant.
And now the real-life courtroom drama has inspired a fictionalized account on stage. Linda Huffman takes us center stage to O.J. Law.
Inside the shabby 40-seat Complex Theater in Hollywood, California, the art world is imitating the news.
My psychic friends are telling me you'll see these people on TV.
Do you know the way to save O.J.?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
O.J. Law, to borrow the name from a former primetime television series, is an ongoing play that bases its characters on nonfiction.
I told him, hold it off your stand on her. Here, doggy.
There's Marcia Clark in the cap, Robert Shapiro, Johnny Cochran, or O.J. Simpson, depending on the scene. Okay, so they don't look like the real players in the real trial, but they do attempt to portray their basic characteristics.
I play Marcia Clark because of the uncanny resemblance between she and I.
The low-budget comedy is halfway between a poetry reading, the actors read the scripts while on stage, and a full-fledged performance, complete with costumes.
I wear a jersey with the number 32 on it, and I wear a pair of white jeans to try to make it look as much as a football motif as possible. So, I mean, the whole play is like the scenario we're on this football field, and it's us against them.
Gary Gordon and Ron Birnbach developed the play as their way to poke fun at the media and the judicial system. They constantly rewrite the script to keep up with the latest breaking news.
If you want to know what happened in the Bronco, press 3.
Yeah, all right, I'll press 3. What happened in the Bronco?
I can't tell you.
As a satirist, I basically take the viewpoint that anything that happens in the culture is fair game to use to evaluate the culture.
Unlike many theatrical performances, this one draws a lot of repeat ticket holders who can't seem to get enough of the Simpson trial. They say around-the-clock news coverage just isn't enough.
I'm obsessed by it. I'm one of these people that I love watching. It's very interesting. It's just as live.
This is our life. This is what people are going to remember when they think back to the 20th century. This is the only thing that went on. The event itself, the people following it, is more of a story than the trial is itself.
Gordon and Birnbach aren't planning on packing up their show and taking it on the road. But they do hope to stay in production until the Simpson trial is over. If that's the case, who knows? O.J. Law could set a record as the longest-running hit in this theater's history.
Innocent guilty! Innocent guilty!
Linda Huffman for CNN, Los Angeles.
And that is all for this edition of Prime News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jean Meserve in Washington.
And I'm Joe Oliver at the CNN Center in Atlanta. CNN presents Kingdom of Cocaine is next.
Do you know the way to save a day? Just when you think there's hope, more evidence gets in the way. Do you know the way to save a day? Just when you think there's hope, check his DNA.
When he took off on the freeway in the Bronco with his friend AC, did it seem to you they were...
...involves 85's aerospace industry in a tailspin and real estate still in the dumps. One of the few bright spots in Los Angeles' sluggish economy is the O.J. Simpson trial. ABC's Aaron Brown explains why some say the economic consequences of a quick O.J. verdict are too ghastly to contemplate.
Positive slammers.
That's the graph.
You're not dressed unless you have a shirt on, O.J. Positive
It's just business, cashing in on murder and a celebrity defendant.
Season 12, E16 20.
Let's start with the media. That seems fair. The Bonaventure Hotel close to the courthouse is packed with reporters.
We have created a special rate package for the media. We call it the O.J. Simpson Media Package.
And collectively, the media hires. The law firm of Abramson, Levinson, Reiner, Filibosian, Van Susteren, and Aranella cashing in on their expertise. And then there is the stuff.
The chase.
Much of it offensive to the victims' families. They see no humor in an O.J. and Nicole Halloween costume, or value in a $3,300 O.J. Simpson statue, $25,000 made, $1,000 sold.
This could sell for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $18,000.
Ford dealers in California say the business in white Broncos has tripled.
This is exactly like the one that O.J. Simpson was caught running away from. This is called the O.J. Special.
Drive your new car to the bookstore and you'll find stacks of O.J. Simpson books, including one by O.J. Simpson himself. Simpson will also try to raise money for his defense with this prepaid long-distance calling card, the Juice Line.
Hi, this is O.J.
The murders of Nicole Simpson and Ron.
And now you had to expect this, didn't you? This is L.A. after all, and this is entertainment.
There was a TV show called The Green Hornet, and the assistant was a houseboy, Kato.
I'm not sure I like
O.J. Law, the play, is updated weekly.
Well, we figure we're writers, so we're not going to make any money.
We thought we were going to get rich off of it. There probably would be something a little creepy about it.
Creepy? Well, some might think so. But it's hard to dispute that it's all a lesson in American values in the 90s.
O.J. will get a good return for signing his name, but when he's out of the limelight, his items will go down in value.
And that is true. Someday in the next few months or so, we'll move on to the next obsession. This time last year, it was Nancy Kerrigan, and the trading card went for $200. This year it's O.J., and a Kerrigan card might bring you 20. Aaron Brown, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now let's go to New York to find out what Dick Shepp has in.
An example of art imitating life, a play based on the weekly happenings in the O.J. Simpson double murder trial.
O.J., repeat after me. I have full confidence in my defense team.
I have full confidence in my defense team.
No, O.J., you've got to say it like you mean it.
I have full confidence in my defense team.
Well, yes, but not angry, O.J., never angry.
Actors at the Complex Flight Theater in Hollywood present O.J. Law. It's a play that changes weekly based on Simpson trial news. The satire attempts to emphasize the thin line between television and reality. One actor admits they sometimes enter dangerous territory, but he says that's what makes it all fun.
For all the latest, watch Fox 11 News tomorrow at 10. Coming up, more is...
Shall we say, more civilized courtroom this morning, gentlemen?
Yes. The O.J. Simpson trial is attracting standing room-only crowds in court. So do you think the time is right for an O.J. play, an O.J. comedy, an O.J. musical? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. There's only one O.J. Simpson on trial for double murder, but get ready, folks, there are plenty more waiting in the wings.
Now, here's a little something I do I call the Bronco leg lift. What have I done? When I played the game, I was the king of the run.
King of the run!
Drama, comedy, music. O.J. has hit off-Broadway.
He was so big and strong.
Make that off-Broadway. This scene from Musical Inquirer takes the audience inside the famous white Bronco, set to music, of course.
Drive, AC, drive. It'll keep my friend alive.
Alvin Williams gets our award for Best O.J. Lookalike, which he says is an honor.
Well, he was a role model for me, and growing up, I remember the Hearst commercials, and then when people told me how much I looked like him, to me it was a compliment.
And I can smell her. Down the road like a dog in wet leaves.
Another New York production called Jay attempts a very serious look at what could be Simpson's emotional conflict.
I turned to the light, and it was red and warm, and I didn't know I had already started, and it was warm and red and wet and warm.
J.B. Lunnon takes his role very seriously, which means keeping up on events at the real trial.
As the character, I must believe that I'm 100% not guilty. And so I have been following the case intently.
Now, you were afraid!
Meanwhile, on a Hollywood stage miles away,
Do you know the way to save O.J.?
playwrights Ron Birnbach and Gary Gordon present O.J. Law, the screwball version of the O.J. Simpson trial.
O.J. doesn't have a book.
I do now.
What's it called?
I want to tell you.
Okay. Tell me.
I want to tell you.
True to real events, the play changes every week.
You're on.
It ends with that old-time serial ending, so what will happen next week? And then we watch all the stuff that happens, and then we update between 20 and 50% of the script every week.
In with the new, out with the old.
I'm a Texan, and don't you forget it.
You gotta do it fast, though.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
I'm a Texan, and don't you forget it.
So when F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro had their famous falling out, it became part of the show that very weekend.
I'm a Texan, and don't you forget it.
It's one of the other attractions about being in a production like this. You don't know what to expect.
Oh! I'm gonna beat this.
And a naked gun.
Had enough? Too late. More OJs are on their way.
And not only did I want to murder her, I wanted to punish her.
Coming soon, the O.J. Simpson Murder Mystery Dinner Theater.
I'm gonna have you do an improv with
Okay. Cool.
So if the trial of the century isn't turning out the way you want, you might want to try the case in your local theater. Coming up on E.T., taking...
Matt?